People come and people go. Where's that how and where's that blow? Where's that how and where's that blow? People come, people go. Oi, oi. That was a little introduction music from what? That's Strange Folk back when they had Reed. Great song. It's off the album Lore. Check her out, though. Welcome, gods and goddesses, YouTubers, Earth Angels. Crystal, I just cleansed here. Pardon me. Oh, get some. The glasses want to be a part of this. I'm gonna light myself on fire. This is a pretty cool one. I call it Cathedral because the way it's grown. It's a Brazilian quartz. It's actually got what you call a record keeper right here. You're not going to be able to see it on there, but it's cool. It's got some rutiles in it. Again, it's a cathedral because of the way it's grown. I don't know if I made up that name back in the day or what. This is a powerful, powerful piece. I love this one. Anyway, she's with us today. Another reading. That's what I'm going with lately, it seems. This is a special one to me. I'm not going to get into why. I've actually never used them personally. This is a virgin moment. I'm gonna do it now. This is the Secret Language of Animal Oracle cards, and it's Chip Richards who put this out. This is Endangered Voices of Mother Earth. Let's face it, there's a lot. I'm an open book. If you turn the pages, if you want to know anything about it, hit me up with a message. I'll answer any questions. But this is one I don't use, but at the same time, it's very sacred to me. Go figure, eh? Well, let us all be cleansed. May all of our entire light, sacred beings be with us. Our angels, all guardian angels be with us. Yeah. Let's see what it has to say to us today. Like I said, bear with me. I've never used these. Not by myself. Not that I'm by myself. Y'all are with me, I hope. Past tense, future tense, present tense, maybe eventually, eh? I'd like to do these more than one, but today I got a feeling I'm gonna do one. Y'all that have been watching, you heard me call out when I saw the lobster in the Spirit Animal Guidebook. And when I saw that, I mentioned that I wanted to receive one. Well, this is the crayfish. Crawdad, whatever you want to call him. When I lived out in California, there's a river called Eel River. We used to go out there and catch them. I never actually cooked them. I always released them, but you can scare the front of them. They swim back into that bucket. It's kind of fun. I have eaten crawdads before, just not the ones that I caught. We always released them. You know what I mean? When you grow up on lobster and you look at like 8 or 9 little things, it ain't worth their life. You know what I mean? I weren't going hungry at the time. So yeah, here's the crayfish. That's what we got today. Makes me want a lobster. The crayfish is protection, perseverance, vulnerability, and regeneration. Nice. Crayfish, protection, thank you. Perseverance, double thank you. Vulnerability, can only use that. It's good to be vulnerable. And regeneration, can use that too. Seeing if anything stands out. Oh, it covers the very end of the tail. But I guess we all got a tail to tell, right? It's interesting that like the crayfish swims backwards in defense because it's got its little claws, but its immediate thing is to swim backwards. So I don't know if all its predators come from the front or what. Well, let's go. Hope everyone's doing really well tonight. If not, then we got better days tomorrow, you know what I mean? Or to another today, I like to say. Tomorrow never comes. Think about another today. All right, let's go. It's the crayfish. Page 36. See what she says, eh? Again, crayfish, protection, perseverance, vulnerability, and regeneration. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Freshwater cousin to the lobster. Armored one of the water realm. Crayfish brings to us the gift of polarity. Opposites that complement each other. Bite my tongue. Strength and vulnerability. I like putting those together. Independence and interconnectivity. Protectiveness and receptivity. These are the ways of the cray. Born into eggs called instars, crayfish spend their lives journeying the depths of underwater landscapes. With an external skeleton that surrounds a soft inner body, crayfish has no bones at all. They're fiercely protective against those who oppose them and will literally tear each other's limbs off in a fight. But they are gentle and loving with their mates, and their limbs grow back. I know their limbs grow back. That's kind of neat to know. That's actually really cool. Rejuvenation, right? Regeneration, however. Interesting. Crayfish walk forward, journeying many miles across the underwater landscape, holding claws with each other for support, but swim backwards much faster than their walk. That's true. Fudge Newton. When crayfish molt each year, they shed their entire outer shell, then eat that shell to retain the calcium and phosphates it contains. Awesome. In their vulnerability, they go into hiding until new shell hardens around their body. As bottom dwellers, I want to read that again. In their vulnerability, they go into hiding until the new shell hardens around their body. All right. Well, that hits me. It hits me. I look at it like I'm tough as fuck, excuse my language, and I've been through a lot. But I am vulnerable right now, almost to the point of weakness, right? Maybe I got to eat that shell, get some calcium in me, right? But we bounce back. We know who we truly are. It's just a cycle of life. As bottom dwellers, crayfish are living filters for the water. Makes sense. But they're also highly sensitive to contamination. The presence of healthy crayfish in a body of water is a sign that the water they are living in is also healthy. Here's the message. When crayfish crawls into your world, he calls you to consider your life structures. Gato. The gift of structure provides safety and stability as we move and grow in the world. There are times when certainty and firm support are needed to harvest the strength for your steps on the path. But the crayfish comes to remind you that yours is also a path of transformation and becoming. Within this journey, there will be times when you need to break free from the current form in order to expand into a higher way. Truth. This does not mean rejecting or abandoning your current circumstances or circumstance, but rather, as crayfish does each time it sheds, then eats its shell, to harvest the lessons and gifts of what has been in order to evolve and grow into a form that will fully honor and support who you're now becoming. It's interesting as you get older, and I'm not done this. I'm just going to set it aside for a second. It's interesting, especially as we age or just gain wisdom, for that matter, to realize that we're still becoming someone new. I mean, scientifically, right? I would argue, besides maybe your original 8 cells, let's say, in my opinion, not necessarily scientific. Scientifically, what on average your cells rejuvenate every 7 years. You almost become a completely new person. This would hypothetically be why you remember when you were 7 years old and you didn't like broccoli, and maybe when you're 14 you do, unless you puked it up or something. There's been things that puked up. Yeah, that's not good. No bueno. But scientifically, your cells fully change. Everything fully changes every 7 years. So we're ever-changing beings, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. So I like, when I'm on my game, I swim with the river. Sometimes you swim up current, right? What's up, yo, main girl? You're a goddess. It's my girl right there. Check her out if you haven't yet. If you haven't, you're a fool. But sometimes we got to be the fool so that we can be smart. But anyway, sometimes you got the cards you dealt and you can't win the chips. But if you swim with the river, you get by. And sometimes getting by is the most sacred thing in the world. You can learn a lot from it. When I started traveling around the country, I didn't even question where I was supposed to go. I knew it would always be shown to me. I knew I'd always be taken care of, and I'd have all the riches I could ever want. And I did, because I never lost faith. And really, if you look at it in a metaphorical terms, I was just swimming with the river. You know what I mean? I let it flow. Maybe if I ever decide to actually get a tattoo, it'll probably be a tornado or something. Just because I did go with the tornado. But anyway, back to the reading. You're not here to hear me rambling, probably. If you are, comment, unlike this stuff. Give me some feedback. I don't care, but I do care. So I'm going to contradict myself. I love y'all. All right. Sometimes when we feel boxed in by our circumstance, I'm just going to iterate that I feel very boxed in. But I ain't. The box opens, dude. That's just cardboard. Sometimes when we feel boxed in by our circumstance, our first response is to contract, pull away, push back, or defend. What would happen if instead of contracting, you expanded your vision to take in a much bigger picture? Take the aerial view. Interesting from a bottom dweller, I'm saying take the aerial view, but hey, as we saw, even the ox is connected to the sky. What would happen if instead of pulling away to avoid conflict with another, you stepped in closer with a commitment to working together? I'm going to read that again. What would happen if instead of pulling away to avoid conflict with another, you stepped in closer with a commitment to work together? I'm going to kiss a string. Though the Avs, I'm Avs country. They were the Quebec Nordiques. I'm from Maine. Went to Quebec every year in the summer. What? What would happen if instead of pushing back or defending your point of view, You opened yourself to truly see the world through the other person's eyes, seeking a solution that honors both and all. When we think we need to be more realistic, sometimes what we really need is to be more inspired. Crayfish calls you to expand your perception of possible rather than shrinking to fit the current form. Challenge yourself to see beyond what you or others may have thought possible yesterday and create a whole new form of expression that honors your greatest gifts and who you truly came here to be. That's heavy, dude. That's heavy. One more time. Challenge yourself to see beyond what you or others may have thought possible yesterday and create a whole new form of expression that honors your greatest gifts and who you truly came here to be. I never pushed my beliefs, but it's tough because we came here choosing to forget who we were, right? It's in here. It's in here that you know who you truly are. Not necessarily in here. Some people have it in here, but that's far and few. Don't be envious of them. That's a tough road too. It's in here. That's our gift. And then it's in all of this. Whatever. You may feel called to spend time in quiet solitude in order to cultivate your inner strength and allow your new self to integrate. I'll give a warning from my experience. Just be careful of too much solitude. We all just fucking got through a fucking pandemic that was fucking bullshit. My opinion. Just saying. A lot of negative things happen. My heart goes out to a lot of families and a lot of people on the worst end, which maybe is the best in the long run. I don't know. But also a lot of people lost their way, right? And so it's almost like a death while you're still here on the planet, and that's tough. So I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to keep going. I'll read that again. You may feel called to spend time in quiet solitude in order to cultivate your inner strength and allow your new self to integrate. Get back into things, because that's what it is. You have to realize why you're going into solitude. Unless you're a monk, don't do it forever. And praise the monks that can do it forever, because they work on a special journey as well. Know that this is normal. In fact, it is essential. It is an essential part of your journey. Truth. Know, too, that within your vulnerability, there is a great power. Being vulnerable is tough. That's almost the toughest one. Feels like you're protected with the other three messages here. Vulnerability. Don't be vulnerable with everyone, but some people you just need to be vulnerable with. You got to be honest. You know what I mean? I just want that to sink in. Know too that within your vulnerability there is great power. When it comes time to share yourself with others, do so authentically from your heart, and you will open the path to new levels of connection and depth of expression together. When it comes time to share yourself with others, do so authentically from your heart, and you will open the path to new levels of connection and depth of expression together. Harvesting the lessons of all that has been, honoring the gifts of all that is. I expand my way of seeing, being, and doing in the world for the good of all. I want to say amen after that one. A woman too. You know what I mean? We all make the world. Thank you, Crayfish. Would love to know your thoughts on that one. Damn. I don't even want to do takeaway points. I mean, that hits, you know? Maybe I'll see if there's any messages about it, and maybe we'll come back and discuss that more in depth. I guess we'll see. In the end, I guess I will come back just to the main points, just to, I find like you can give any message, you can run a training with a group of people, you can do whatever. You can run, say you're running an office of like 40 people and you run a training and the training sucks. Let's say it's not even that good. But if you have takeaway points, if all people take one thing that helps them, then you succeeded, even with a shitty training. So I'm going to go back and just say the main points to take away, which I agree with them. So protection. Know that you're protected. Are you above the earth? Are you breathing? Are you able to find food? Is your mind able to figure things out? Then it ain't that bad. There's people worse off. Not saying feel bad for them or that you shouldn't feel bad for yourself at times. Because I know, especially when I look at people's mental health, I'll take men, for instance. A lot of times they think, oh, I'm not supposed to feel this way. Other people are worse off. And that actually makes your depression worse. It actually makes your mental health worse. It's like, well, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I have these many fucking privileges or fucking whatever. And it makes it worse. But realize that you are protected, right? Believe what you believe. Hopefully you believe you're protected. Hopefully you've seen enough in your life, whether you're 10 years old or 100 years old, to know that you're protected and you're here. Perseverance. Keep on keeping on. Keep getting it. You know what I mean? Don't stop. Be the bottom dweller. Know how important you are to that river. Keeping it cleansed. And don't let shit get too toxic around you. If it does, persevere up the river to where it's cleaner. Vulnerability. Remember to be vulnerable with the ones that truly love you. The ones that don't maybe run their mouth to others about it. That don't take advantage of you about it. The ones that are in true love with you, no matter what that love means. Be vulnerable. Those are the people that will help you when it comes times. Those are the people that will listen, that will learn when they're supposed to act, when they're not. Being vulnerable is important. Sometimes even to strangers. I've helped a lot of people that were on drugs, for instance, that I never met before. And it's because I was vulnerable enough to share my stories. And then they realized that I was there. So they truly listened, right? And it's interesting. When you're truly vulnerable, you have to realize we're all always helping each other. You teach them to listen too. And sometimes that's the most important thing because we're all here learning. And regeneration. No matter where you're at, no matter where we are at, we can rejuvenate. We can regenerate. Our cells are regenerating themselves nonstop. It won't stop. There's not much you can do about that. So go with it. Realize that you can get stronger if you want to. You can get smarter if you want to. You can do almost anything you want to do. And you're here to do it. You chose to be here, in my opinion, to do it. So regenerate. Protection, perseverance, vulnerability, generation. On that note, I love y'all. I hope you have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day. I love you. Strange Folk. Back when Reed was the lead singer.